Mick Corrigan here from Action Coach, and today I'm delighted to introduce you to Dominic Liptrot. Dominic is the managing director of Lost Art. Dominic, welcome to Business Spotlight. How are you?
I'm good. Busy, but yeah, good.
Excellent. Tell us a bit about Lost Art then.
Yeah, Lost Art. I set it up about 25 years ago. I've been working in local authorities, managing parks and gardens, worked my way up, and I was finding the lottery was starting to put money into parks and gardens, and I was finding that specialist craftspeople to do the work were there, but they tended to be small businesses, and I thought there was a desire or a need for pulling together the different craft skills together into one pot to try and offer blacksmithing, woodworking, pattern making, casting, all under one umbrella. So that was the initial idea of it.
Okay, so what type of projects are you getting involved in?
We get involved in a multitude. We've got basically two sides of the business. We've got the conservation restoration, where we've done fountains, we do bandstands. We did a bandstand to commemorate the Queen's long-term service, and we did some gates for King Charles up to one of his houses up in Dumfries. We do a lot, mainly conservation restoration, high-end work where we will either restore something or something that brings an old postcard to say a bandstand. We'll find it. We have a big collection of old catalogues. We'll find the components and then we'll pattern make it up. We'll cast it. We'll do the timber work. We'll remake them. So it's a combination. But then the other side, we specialise in is historic landscape furnishings, whether or not it be benches, uh, rose umbrellas, rose fans, gates, lots of stuff like that. We do both sides of the business really. So again, we supply parks with conservation work. We also supply them with furniture. So it was a bit of both really.
So I guess you've got a real spectrum of customers then, from the royal family to what?
Yeah, I mean, high end. We look. I mean, we're doing some work at the moment for a very blue chip company. A lot of benches going over to a theme park, but we're not allowed to discuss where because of disclosure things. But yeah, we do that. I mean, we can sell one bench to a private customer, and we've done sort of 40, 50, 60 benches to private park or national trust property. So it's a real mishmash. We've done stuff in the past to members of the Beatles. We've done all sorts. It's been a real cross spectrum, and it's been interesting because again, you've met some very interesting people when you've been delivering, meeting some really interesting people, all spectrums of society.
Very quickly, what did you do for the Beatles?
We sold some stuff. It's many moons ago to George Harrison. We did these. He was doing his garden down at Friars Court, and he wanted these wicker plant protectors to put over, and we made some of those, and we did them. And it was a bizarre thing, really. It was early days, and we made them. And I remember I went delivering it, and I was trying to work out should I charge him 50 quid delivery or 25 quid delivery. Didn't want to lose the order. I thought I'll charge him 25 quid. And I look back and I think, God, would it have mattered much to him? And the other big mistake was I got a check which had his signature on it and then cashed it. And I'd probably been worth more on the job if I'd kept his check. But hey ho, that's
Uh,
early days. Cash flow was exceptionally important, as it still is. But even those days, it was really important.
yeah, you live and learn, don't you? Brilliant. Uh, so obviously people are coming to you with as I say, a large scope of requirements and types of people. What makes them go to you, do you think? What differentiates Lost Art to any other options that
Think,
might be out there?
yeah, I think it's a combination really. Early days, we let look it. We met when Lottery was taking off. We met a guy, Paul Rabbits, he was, and he still worked with him actually. He was doing a park restoration up in Middlesbrough, and another guy called Charles Crawford who was doing another project. And they asked us to look at restoring a fountain. One was to do with gates and stuff like that. And we managed to pull together all the information. We did these projects, and these were like 100,000, 150,000 projects when we've been dealing with projects like maybe 10, 15,000. And we managed to do it really well. And at that time, the lottery was doing lots of parks, and the word just got round, and we were just sort of word of mouth. We got this reputation as the go-to people because we were prepared to go that extra yard, but because we could do from the design through to the cast iron pattern making, we could do the timber work, we could do the water circulation systems. We tried to offer. I always thought the best way to win the work is to offer all the solutions to these people, almost like a one-stop thing, and
Yeah,
then they're not having to deal with multiple contracts. So that was the whole idea, and it's just snowballed from that, and snowballed on the furniture side. Again, we developed probably the best collection of historic benches, 40, 50 designs, and all this stuff. So that, yeah, it was really trying to be all things to these people, make life easier, but do a good job at the same time.
fantastic. So you've obviously well established now, 25 years in the making. What's the future look like?
Do you know, that's a good question at the moment. I'm hitting that point in life whereby I'm looking at where we go. I think our big area for growth really should be the off the shelf stuff, because I've set up a real good system. We've got probably hundreds of £1,000s worth of patterns for fountains, railings, gates, and we've never really manipulated and utilized that to the level of which we could do, and because we were always busy on the conservation restoration, doing shelters at the minute down in Southsea. We're doing gates for parks and gardens. So that's probably the big growth area that we've never tapped, and it's probably the area where it's difficult as a small business, because we'd probably have to set up a full marketing section, and that's always been an area we've found difficult to say how you jump into that new thing of having a different style of employee. So that's something I'm mulling over at the moment.
So a few challenges there as well.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
really is, because you've got predominantly the workforce is people who are making and doing and that, whereas marketing is we've toyed with it, and we've done it, and we've always got the work, but we know we've got probably the best range of historic furniture, benches, litter bins, furniture, but when we look at the competitors, they've got massive markets. We've got a decent market, but it's an area that I know could be, we've done shows out in America, and people love our stuff out in America. But we've never really followed it up, because when we've come back from a show, we've been winning 3 or 4 projects, and we've had to throw everybody at that, and never chased up or never really pushed that sales side. And it's one, I'm sure the small businesses are the same. It's a different animal. Sales is a different animal to the doing of the conservation and restoration, and it's one we're constantly thinking about how you can do this in a
yeah,
sustainable way.
good stuff. Well, I wish you well with that, Dominic. Before we finish, give us something that you've been the biggest learning for you in your 25 years in business.
I think the biggest learning is it probably really looks back to almost at when at school, when you left school with low expectations because you were never pushed in those days. Looking back to the 1970s, your career path was working in mining, but working in this, and that belief in going into it later in life, which I did, I said in the middle of the 40s, that belief that you could get to where you're going to get to, and maybe to trust the people who do business, run their own business and have run it from scratch, is probably my biggest advice. Is speak to those people, because they'll give you the best advice, because they've been there, done it on a small basis, and just surround yourself with good people.
Great advice. I wish you all the best, Dominic. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your time.